Amanda May with Ardith Design. Welcome back to my channel where we celebrate all things needle art and my passion for counted cross stitch. And I'd love to be a thread that helps connect historic needlework to contemporary needle art through sustainable stitching, saving the stitches, finding all the things, upcycling, all that good stuff. I would like to wish everybody around the world a happy new year. It is the first day of 2019, which means probably for the next 6 weeks I'll be doing the 2018 and then doing the 8 and then having to put the 19 in. I closed up a lot of my spreadsheet business stuff and the spreadsheets already want to put in 2019. I'm like, no, December 29th of last year, not this year. I'm like, no, just keep moving forward is what my spreadsheets are telling me. If you're new to my channel, welcome. I'm a quirky crafter that loves to make all the things. I have a lot of hobbies. I am a mother of 2 kids. I am a business owner, an artist, and I love all the things. I had a really good week. I went on a couple of adventures. I went to some new places, saw some new things, took the kids along, and we found some treasures that I want to share with you today. I don't know if you can see behind me, but I put up my love pug tree. I've got some pugs in there, some playing card garlands, some fabric, red, cream, white, non-breakable ornaments, and I'm going to be adding some more next week, so stay tuned for next week. Next week, everyone, it is going to be a Valentine's Day extravaganza, and I'm so excited. So stay tuned for next week's episode where I show you all the things. But, to kind of whet the palette, as it were, I have a couple of Valentine's things to show you today, a little primer. And the Save the Stitches stuff, some fun little finds, and then we're gonna close it on up for the week. All right, so I want to start with some haul and some of the goodies that I found this week. And I went all over the place. One of our kids really wanted to go to a carousel, which is the horse things that go up and down. I think Mary Poppins, the quintessential carousel. I went to one when I was little at the Santa Cruz Beach Boardwalk in California, and we just really wanted to make it happen before it starts snowing. And any of you with small children know that there is the logistical nightmare of driving somewhere long distance in the snow with 2 small children. Anyway, we got it out of the way. We went to the carousel, and then we went to a couple, like the Habitat for Humanity Restore, looking for awesome things, some treasures. We went to an antique store. We went to the mall itself with all the new goodies. And we just had a lot of fun this last weekend, closing up 2018 with a proverbial bang. Here we go. I'm going to show you start on my haul. A Kitten Stitcher was talking about these really awesome vintage butter molds and how there's an artist that uses them to make the thread keeps. And she uses the molds and makes the beeswax molds, and I thought they were so cool, and I started researching them and looking at them and said, I'm going to put it out there that I would love some of these butter molds or sugar cookie molds, and sure enough, I found them. I got a set of 2. Now these are too big for actual to do the thread keep wax, but nevertheless, I think they're really cool. And they're the German hand-carved wooden things. I don't know. I was thinking of how they almost looks like little bell pulls almost, and I'm wondering if I could mount a cross stitch somewhere, but I might end up just doing the Priscilla Chelsea method and put some bows and some fun little things. I don't know. I just think they're really neat. I got at a antique mall, I went in eyes blazing, looking this way, that way to see if I could spot cross stitch. And cross stitch is interesting. I see needlepoint at antique stores, not so much cross stitch. And you'll see tatting, crochet. There were some beautiful old quilts, like they call them cutter quilts. Quilts that are kind of too damaged to repair, so people will cut them up and make other projects out of them. But I went through this entire antique mall and they had one cross stitch thing that I could find. And here it is. And it was on sale. I got it. It was on sale. I got it for $1.60. And coincidentally enough, I didn't even find it. My husband eyeballed it. We were finding needlepoint stuff everywhere. But cross-stitch stuff, none to be found. But he found this tucked away. And he's like, Amanda, you know, I don't know if paying $2 for just the pattern. I'm like looking at it. It's not just the pattern. It's a partially completed Santa. And it looks like it's got all the floss. It's kind of, the floss is all kind of jumbled. Ooh, sorry to make the noise. I forgot to open it up. It does have the old masking tape on it, and it's like kind of, you can hear the crinkle, the acid burn on it. So I definitely do need to wash this before finishing it. And they did attach the needles, and thankfully though, the needles, they did not rust the fabric. That is good. It's on a 14 count Aida. And again, it's the Santa Claus. And he said, well, you know, you should probably finish it for 2019 so you can put it up. Well, this might be a challenge, you know, work on all the things. So that is the one thing we found at the antique mall that was cross-stitch related. And then at the Habitat for Humanity store, my husband hid it out of the park again. I was looking at the chairs because we need more chairs. And he comes up, he goes, Amanda, look at this. Look at what I found. And we are cracking up, okay? Cracking up. And I'm like, we're buying this. And it didn't have a price on it. I didn't know what to do. And this wonderful lady comes up to me. She goes, oh my gosh, are you going to buy that? I said, yeah, I'm going to buy it. She goes, I wanted to buy it, but my husband vetoed it. Your husband must be awesome if he's going to let you buy that. I said, not only are we buying it, he picked it out. He found it. And so this is what my husband found. Are you ready? It's crochet. It's yellow and black. And see, this is the back of it. Are you ready for this? Okay, here we go. Let me see if I can get back. It says, Auntie M, hate you, hate Kansas, taking the dog, Dorothy. Steph, are you dead on the floor? Pam and Steph loves Wizard of Oz stuff, and I saw this, and I was snort laughing. I don't know if this came as a kit or a pattern or someone just free-handed it, but I think it's the funniest piece of Wizard of Oz ephemera goodie paraphernalia I think I've ever seen. And there's a group on Facebook called Mildly Offensive Fiber Artists, or MOFA, M-O-F-A, Mildly Offensive Fiber Artists. And I was cracking up that I need to submit this to them because I think there's other people that might really get a kick out of that. Now, what am I going to do with this? I have no idea. It's too small really to be a lap quilt. We don't know what it was for or if it was made as a wall hanging. We think maybe it was to put on the back of a couch. I don't know. Comment below if you... What do I do with it? Or do I just send it to Steph? The next bit of haul that I got is a needle point long stitch piece of art, and I walked around the store for a while and I kept looking at it, and I was hemming and hawing back and forth about whether or not to buy it. And then over the intercom, they said it was 50% off day. The entire store, everything was 50% off. So that got me going, oh, okay, well, that's a sign. And then I'm like looking and I'm thinking, and I go, well, you know what? The mat is really, it's dated. And then I thought about Leslie Hurley, and she was saying how she bought some mats at the secondhand store or thrift store, like the inexpensive frames, and she painted the mats. So shout out to you, Leslie. Thank you for the idea. And so that's why I decided to finally just say yes and buy it as I'm trying to grab it. It was professionally framed. And I think Kitten Stitcher loves to talk about the mats of the 80s. So here we go. And this is long stitching of a Victorian. I thought it was really neat. I want to say it's a kit, maybe dimensions. I'm not really sure, but it reminds me of the Victorians in Eureka, California, and kind of in the logging, the late Victorian era coastal towns. Like, I know these are clouds and sky, but I just see, I don't know, to me it evokes kind of a coastal feel with the bright colors. And I don't know, the top up there, what is that where you stand up there and look out, the widow, oh, I forget what it's called, where you look out onto the sea or to the water to see if your sweetheart is coming home. Like I said, the mat is dirty and it's old, and I want to see what I can do with this. I need to vacuum the stitching and see what I can do to bring this little beauty back to its former glory. All right, the next bit of haul that I got is non-stitching related per se. And I say that in my 7 degrees of Kevin Bacon because I feel like everything is interconnected. And a lot of us stitchers love lapel pins that we double as needle minders, and the little charms and buttons that we attach. So I found this collection and promptly purchased it. It has really neat items, and this person collected all things like sneakers and tennis shoes. But look at this zip-a-charm. These are really neat. These were the little goodies that you put on your shoes. And I bought the bag for this. Look at this little pin pal. It's got the Valentine's Day. I love Valentine's Day. And it's got the shoe, and it's got all the cute things. Then look at these. I didn't even know they made these. These are vintage Hallmark friendship buttons. And I just thought it was so cute. Oh, and then I feel like this needs to be a cross-stitch pattern. My pace or yours. And look, it's a high top and a low rise sneakers, and they're flirting. I love a good pun. Then this is a hand-painted charm made into a necklace by an artist in Tennessee. And I thought of a needle runs through it. That company does all the beautiful wood, laser wood cutting for like the Frosted Pumpkin Stitchery and all the beautiful wood. There's another artist that does all the wood painting, needle minders. I love it. Then look at this. This is a compact mirror. Again, Valentine's Day. I love Valentine's Day. Anyway, I just thought it was really precious, and so I got this collection of little high top sneaker things, and it just made me smile. All the cute little collectible stuff. I mean, right now, like, my kids are into Unikitty and unicorns and Minnie Mouse and, you know, sloths. Our family's big into sloths. So it's just, you know, a generational thing. What are people into? What animals are like the it animal or the it object? You know, 2017 was, and 18 were the fidget spinners, like those little gadgets. Back when I was younger, it was Pogs. Pogs were really big. But, oh, and the scrunchies are making a comeback. That is one thing I never thought from my childhood would ever come back, is the scrunchies. And these, I mean, come on, isn't that adorable? I dare anyone to do this hair and then tag me on Instagram at ardithdesign. Anyway, there's more stuff there. So that's my haul for this week. Oh, I did stop at the store Tuesday morning. It's like a TJ Maxx Home Goods, but not. I don't know how else to explain Tuesday morning. But I got, for $3, I got some scrapbook paper, and then I got this cool little hole punch thing for $4, and it's to make the little banner. And I thought, though, maybe I could make little thread drops out of it. I don't know. Oh, what should we... Oh, and I got these too. This is also from Tuesday morning. And they're the little chalkboard things, because I think of Deb and Kef of Snug Harbor Crafts. They're doing all the chalkboard stuff. I do a lot of chalkboard art stuff too, digital art. And just chalkboards are really fun, and I wondered if I could put a cross stitch on it and do some sort of finishing here. But not put it down in a potted plant, but do like the pick thing like Priscilla and Chelsea with decorative finishes, and maybe put it in the tree, or, you know, do all the things. Yes, okay, that's officially my haul for this week. I got a lot of really fun little things. Oh, let's move on to mail call. Mail call. This week, I've been waiting for my order of threads to come in, and I'm still waiting for my second order to come in, but I got all of my, well, most of my threads from Victorian Motto Sampler Shop. And what I do when I check my order, I get my invoice, and then as I look at my invoice to see what color, I hole punch the card, the floss card, check off my list, and then put it on my clip. That way I know that I got my whole order. And I am going to go back and do the a la Susie Reno and put my little hole punch on the side. Once I open up the thread and start using it, I like to put that complimentary thread drop to collect, or to hold on to the floss that I'm using. So I got Arizona Sunset, I got Seafoam, Grape Hyacinth, the Holland Tulips, and then I don't know if you can tell, if you can tell, but I love teal. Like, teal is like my jam. So I have a lot of different teals here. She has the Vintage Aqua, which is the darker. And then I have the 1950s Aqua, which is like the medium. And then I have the 1940s Aqua. So I didn't realize she made all those aquas, but I love them. This is a replacement for my shades of violet, and my Purdy Orange got mixed up. She custom dyed the Purdy Orange for the Banana Pants Purdy pattern. I'm waiting for those to come in the mail to send out to my giveaway winners. I apologize for the delay. But, you know, you can't speed perfection. But in my, both of my saltwater taffy terry and my banana pants Purdy. Instead of having the back stitching in black or a charcoal, I have it in the shades of violet, which is this variegated deep purple, and I charted it for the DMC 550 in case, you know, people don't or can't get the Victorian motto. Then I have Sweet Violets. And then this Bronze Glory is a really lovely brown. I have Pink Petunia. Can you tell I like pink as well? The theme is red, pink, and teal. Pink Petunia. And then I love this one. This is the 1940s Bright Candy Pink. And then Parchment. I love them. And I want to show you just a couple little books that I have in preparation for Valentine's Day. And I found this in my stash. And I wanted to share it. It is a sampler. It's a heart sampler, and it has a ton of specialty stitches and heart hanger and some really neat things. And I have this in maybe in a couple years when I learn how to do the specialty stitches and stuff. Maybe I'll finally end up stitching it, but I love the motif up here of the flowers. It's got all these beautiful things, and it's the First Love Designs by Jan, and it's book 101 with all of my heart. And I read it and said, you know, she loved creating the sampler because of all the different stitches. It even has a charm in there. It's got all the things. So I have this on my 2-stitch list. And then I want to thank all of you for your kind thoughts and insight about my tangent last week about how it wasn't that long ago that we've been able and fortunate enough to be able to chart our designs on the computers at home, not on the supercomputers, but our at-home computers. And at one of the used bookstores, I got this Just Cross Stitch, and it's featuring all the table linens and such. I just got it this weekend, and sure enough, I looked through this whole book. Beautiful pictures, you know, lovely finishing. It's all hand charted. And that's not to say there's anything wrong with that. This book came out in 1984, but just, you know, remember, we've come a long way. And I'm just really excited. Like I said, stay tuned for next week. I'm going to be debuting some Valentine's Day goodies and having a little Valentine's Day craft extravaganza. Valentine's Day is really one of my favorite holidays. I've always loved it. You don't need to be in a relationship or have a significant other or others to love Valentine's Day, the sentiment of love. I love pink and everything about it I like. And my name, Amanda May, but Amanda, it stands, the term, it means worthy of love. And maybe that's why I just really like this holiday. I want to thank you all for tuning in, and I hope you have a beautiful first week of 2019. You are enough. If you set resolutions or goals for this year, awesome. I want to shout out Gary of the Sunshine Stitchers. What a phenomenal planner. You go check out their channel and go see his list of whips and new starts for 2019. It is phenomenal. Congratulations on what a beautiful organizational scheme with your calendar, with your bags that you've made, with the fabrics you've chosen, with the flosses. It's impeccable. If you haven't checked out Sunshine Stitchers, I urge you to do so. I spent New Year's Eve with Pam and Steph on their online Instagram as they showcased the under the bed box, and that was fantastic. So I just want to thank you all for your inspiration and your love in the stitching community. I'll see you next week where we celebrate Valentine's Day. Have a great week and happy stitching.